are live. Finally, this is the first episode of a little and crazy project we had in mind. So finally, we are here and we are getting started. What is this? Why are we here? So before we start, let me introduce two friends of mine, some of my best friends of mine. I see some people. Oh, nice. Okay, so this is a spoiler. So my friends are Samina and Vito. How are you? Samina, go first.
Hi, Francesca. How are you doing? I'm good. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Web3 Squared. I'm super excited to be here. Well, I guess we'll go over like what the show is about in a second, but I'm a developer advocate over at Decentology. I've been in the Web3 space since August 2021. Super excited to be here. Super excited to highlight some projects from the community and kind of like be able to interact with you all a little bit more in person.
Nice, nice. Now it's turn of Vito. Hi, Francesco. Hi, Samina and Vito.
Hello.
Vito, your turn.
And
Hey, my
Vito.
friend. Ciao.
Hey there, everybody. I'm Vito, and I'm so happy to be here. So this is a new format we were thinking about to speak about, Web3, demystify a couple of topics that people are not really understanding, highlighting projects from the community, and trying to get you on board in this amazing domain that's rising at a lightning speed, right? And I'm Vito, by the way. I do stuff on Twitter mainly. I code a lot. I'm a developer advocate, but I can't really tell you where yet. And it's like the third time. People are starting to think that I'm like lying, the biggest lie in the history, but it's not. Trust me. And yeah. Thank you for being here.
Nice, nice. I see some people, some friends of mine, Iraqi, data professor. They go, he's amazing. Check his YouTube channel. About 100 of thousands of subscribers. We need to do something together. Here is Samina, but don't worry, Vito. I'll also share your Twitter handle soon. So don't be jealous, okay?
Ladies first.
Nice. Let me repeat this. This is a pilot episode, so you need to support us if you want to see those three faces again. So like, subscribe, interact, make questions, share this, because this can really make the difference between making this happen or not. So let's support us. Perfect. Hey,
I'm
Yash.
sharing the link on my Twitter. How many people are there? 12 people. Welcome.
Yeah, nice.
Nine, actually. Nine,
nice.
actually.
It's nice.
3 of them are us.
And there's also my mom, my dad, and some of my
girlfriend.
cousins. No, my girlfriend still not. There we go. Vito on Twitter. You can follow him and follow Samina, of course. Nice. All my favorite people in one stream. Great to see you guys or folks. Thank you, Abbas. We really appreciate it. So nice. So people are here. I think that we can start. So we don't have any special plan. We have an idea of what we want to talk about, but we want to make this live stream very, very interactive. I know that in school, professors, they always say this in university and in high school, but this is a different story. So you need to interact with us, drop questions. I don't know if you can answer them all, but at least we will try. So this is why we are here. GM, yeah, this is what we want. This is the kind of comment that we want to read. Kevin, you will be on this show soon. No worries. Can I ask to React JS?
So Samina wrote like a sort of a roadmap of what we want to talk about right today. We have a list.
Yeah, I wanted to keep that secret, so we looked a little bit smarter. But that's okay, Vito. We can share it. We have. We don't have this. Nice. Hello, DSMLRY13. Perfect. Okay, nice. So I think we can start. So the title, I can't remember the title. It was Quickstart 2022 Web3 and Quickstart. So Quickstart. So how can we start? Because I've noticed that when I jump in any Twitter space, any live stream, anything, after 5-6 minutes, the word Web3 pops out. it's like you can't really stop that. So there are people against that. There are people who don't even want to know what is that. That's a scam. There are people who just felt in love and I think they spent all their money on all the not very famous cryptocurrencies. So I don't know if maybe we are something in the middle, and I think that we can start. So who of you would like to start to share maybe your experience as in the Web3 world? By the way, shameless plug, I have had already both of them on my YouTube channel because they are my friends, of course. But this is just related to Web3. So yeah, how do we want to
What OG
start?
means? Someone said Vito voice is OG.
I knew that something good, but I can't remember now.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's good.
Original gangster. I don't know.
Vito
Okay.
voice is OG.
Oh yeah. Web3 is it? Okay. Anyway, yeah, it is so true. Web3 is this thing that contains an awful lot of stuff, and people think that everything is the same, right? On one side, we have programmers. I don't know how many people here are programmers, but on one side, we have programmers.
We can make a poll.
People that, yeah, people that are actually learning how to code smart contracts, how to create stuff on Ethereum and other blockchains. People that are creating this world, right? This set of tools, applications. And on the other hand, but this is another hand, right? We have NFTs and we have crypto and we have tokens and stuff like that. But the fact is that at the moment, we know NFTs and cryptos just like a way of making money, and this is creating a huge misunderstanding. And I can't stress about enough talking about this, because it's not just that. And I'm pretty sure with these series of videos, with this series of live stream, we'll try, to tell you, to show you what we can do with this new technology and why it's cool and it's not. Like, whoa, bad. What do you think? I want to hear Samina about it, because Samina is full of ideas about the Web3 space.
Yeah, I very much agree with you. Like, it's become such a polarized world. So like on Twitter, there's, like Francesca said, there's people who are so solely against it. They don't see any use cases for it. There's people who are like too into it and they're like, blockchain is a solution for everything. And like I like to think that the three of us are kind of in the middle, where we're like, there's use cases and there's not use cases. So I think, like, for me, I want to see like more social good projects. I come from a nonprofit background. Like, the last 2 jobs I worked were nonprofits, and I'm always looking to see like projects in the NFT space that are used for good. So I'm kind of exploring the area of DAOs and like decentralized finance. And basically, yeah, that was one of my goals with this show, is to bring on people who are doing some really cool projects that do impact our communities and are not just for profit. So hopefully we'll have some more of those in the future.
Yes, I want to ask the people that are listening to us first to share this video, this live stream, this call, however you want, on Twitter. I was saying Facebook. Who's using Facebook?
Me.
I don't know. I had to create like a Facebook page for Instagram, but I don't use Facebook. By the way, share it on wherever you want. And second, I would love to know what are the projects, the Web3 projects that you know about and that you like, that you think are not just about speculation. If you know some, any.
Yeah.
If you know any, yeah.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, let's see. And as Samina said, we will have some guests probably even in the next episode. So thank you, Vito, for helping me out, because of course, if I say this on my channel, people say, okay, maybe I'll do this later. But if someone else says that, it has a higher impact. France needs a coffee. Sorry, Ashish. The problem is that I already had one, so I'm sorry, Ashish. Okay, so what's the roadmap to start Web3 layman perspective? I think layman means like a basic level, right? More or less. Samina, you're muted.
Oh, sorry. I said, yeah, I think that's what it means, maybe. Yeah, so I always give a roadmap. Like, this is, you've probably heard me say it if you've heard Francesco's previous live stream, but I always just say to start by interacting with the decentralized application. And this is if you're coming in it from a developer perspective. You want to just kind of like learn what a decentralized application looks like, what it does, how do you interact with it before you even get started in the code, before you even pick up crypto zombies, before you even like do all these other resources. Just understand what the fundamentals of a decentralized application looks like. So that's where I say to get started. For the rest of the roadmap, I'm actually going to refer to Vito because I know he's more into like the technical side and he's done some projects.
Oh, okay. So about Vito, qual è il tuo vero nome? Okay. By the way, sorry, I was reading the questions in the chat. The thing is that Web3 is nothing more than Web2, where instead of a database and a backend, you use smart contracts. And it's not even always true because sometimes you also use a standard backend and then you implement some smart contracts. So my idea of a Web3 roadmap is actually learn the basic stuff like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, CSS frameworks, a JavaScript framework. I would choose personally React only because I'm a fan of React, and you can actually use. Okay, the thing is that if you use Vue and you use React, you're gonna sacrifice on SEO, because single page web applications can't really be rendered by crawlers. So the Google bots that go around websites and check what's your page about, right? And so you're going to sacrifice SEO. But because of Next.js, that is a backend framework for React that leverages SSR and server-side rendering, server-side generation and stuff, you gonna, have a SEO optimized React website. So that's why I suggest React and Vue. If you want to use Vue, you can use Next. That is not Next, but it's Next. It's similar, it does the same thing, but it's with Vue. And then you have two possibilities. The first one, of course, if you want to integrate into JavaScript projects, Web3, you want to use or Web3.js or Ether.js. Those are the two libraries. But then there is another step, and is you can choose to learn Solidity. So it's about smart contracts, right? Once you have all your full stack knowledge, so you know CSS, HTML, JavaScript, backend, Node.js, blah, 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 then you want to start understanding smart contracts, and you can write them using Solidity and deploy them using Hardhat or Truffle. It's an awful lot of stuff. I'm going to send you a link. I'm going to share with you a link with the roadmap, right? But you want to use Hardhat or Truffle, or you can use services such as Third Web that are actually point and click. So you decide what you want to do, and you get an API key, and you have endpoints, and you interact with the endpoints. And so you have a standard Web2 application with Web3 features. So does it make sense?
For me, it makes sense. Let's see in the chat. Just
That was a lot to take in.
Just a couple of things. The poll, like out of 23 people, 96% are developers. So basically, I think that my mom is not a developer. No, I'm joking. She's not in the live stream, of course. So we can be technical and boring. We are allowed to do this. So what about Svelte? I've checked this, I think, just once. I think this is technically possible. I don't know. Have you, any of you has tried this? Has tried Svelte? But I think it's possible.
I haven't. The only reason I see like a lot, I actually tweeted this the other day too. I was like, why are most of the people in the Web3 community using React? And I think it's mostly coming down to like how many resources are available and like what React offers with hooks and being able to integrate that into your decentralized application a lot easier. If you are comfortable, this is a call to action. If you are comfortable in like Svelte and Vue and like all these other frameworks, and you are able to curate resources, I think that's going to be a hit. So if you feel comfortable doing that, I highly recommend just start creating those sorts of resources.
Also with Flutter. People are asking a lot about Web3 in Flutter. And I mean, it makes sense, right? It makes sense. Yeah, because at the moment, if you notice that we don't really have native applications that are running any Web3 feature. because the connection with wallets is not really easy to be done. Like, because MetaMask runs on a browser and you can't really connect with it. But I know the guys from ChainSafe, that is the development house of Web3.js, they're working on it. They're working on a trust wallet integration.
Nice. Samina, you're muted. See
I
that your
keep
lips.
forgetting. It's like I feel like a boomer on a Zoom
It's
call
not.
today.
It's not a problem. It's not a problem. Just because this is a pilot episode. So for now, today you are forgiven. You can do whatever you want. Go
Okay.
on.
What was I saying? I need coffee. You had coffee before the stream, and I didn't go get some. So this is
You
my
should
problem.
find a way so I can send you a coffee, and also people in chat can send a coffee. I don't know.
Yes. Send me a coffee.
What
please.
Abbas said. Yes, you can.
Yeah, I'd say why not. So it depends. For example, I think that I'll be way more focused on the backend because I'm bad at CSS. So this is probably the main reason that I want to focus more on the connection between actual backend and, of course, the DevOps part. So I'll work more on that part.
I mean, it doesn't really matter, right? The thing is that maybe in the backend, the fact is that the applications, the libraries, the frameworks that are arising in the Web3 space that are, targeting backend, are actually more targeting full stack. Because if I think about Moralis, for example, that is a framework that allows you to, create a decentralized application in literally 5 minutes with Ethereum login and stuff. You don't handle the backend, because nowadays having a backend is very, very repetitive in 90% of cases, and then you have a 10% of cases where you need a custom backend. But if you need users and, I don't know, like a basic relation between two tables, then you don't really need to code it. There are frameworks and libraries that allow to do so. So the thing is that if you want to go into the Web3 backend, be ready to automate a lot it's more about a facilitator. It's not really about backend development. It's more about creating frameworks and libraries and bridges that allow people that know of anything. Can we say bad words during this live stream?
No.
That don't know. Okay, that know nothing.
I'm joking, Vito. You can, but then if the video gets unmonetized, I think I've also removed the ads in this video. So I think you can. If you want, but in that case, I'll send you an invoice, a huge invoice, which doesn't reflect at all the real earning. Just
just a random invoice that I have to pay. Thank you, Fra.
But yeah,
nice. So we get other points, valid points. Thanks, Pete and Samina. I see. Maybe Ashish has used the Flutter Web. It says that's still not stable. It needs a lot of packages and support to get the status of React ecosystem. So, yes, I think maybe they need to work a little bit more for this integration. But I think that they are. They're not crazy. You should use Riverside for recording podcasts and other podcasts. You want more podcasts? I'm literally doing podcasts like 4 per day, but nice. And now we have this question: how can I start into Web3 as a beginner? Like, I have no idea about smart contracts and why should I learn Web3? Who would like to start? Why should I learn Web3?
No one knows why you should learn Web3. That's a good point.
Yeah. For example, can I go very fast? For example,
absolutely.
Usually, I tend to not just start a new topic just because someone says about this. Otherwise, probably I will not know anything. But when I keep hearing that word in different areas, like I keep track. I don't know. I have like a mental check. Like, okay, so I check this. I remember that I did this, for example, with Node.js some years ago because I just knew, for example, Java. I was a child probably, and then as people started to say Node.js. At some point, okay, so let's see what is that. So I checked that, I did the same also with Docker, and now I do the same with Web3. So I based what I want to learn on because people are talking about that, so I get interested into that, and I start making some researches. So what about you? This is a more existential question. Why?
Yeah, I think the another question might be, it's inevitable that Web3 components, I don't know if the ecosystem will stay, but components of Web3 technology will stay and will be present in websites, right? And the more you know, we are 7 billion people in this world. And when you're looking for a job, what matters is what you know, right? So why are you different from another candidate? Why are you different from me or Samina or Fra? Why you should, get the position? And Web3 is such a new topic, it's such a new field that not many people are competing for the same positions. So if you're looking for a job that can give you an awful lot of money and is super interesting and in a way will stay for sure 100%, then that's why you should learn Web3. How? I think there are a bunch of platforms if Samina wants to, list them.
So like resources to learn. So the way I like to answer this, so first get like a breadth first knowledge, not a depth first knowledge. So you don't have to go too deep into a topic. One of the resources I really like for this is blockchain at Berkeley. And it goes over the fundamentals in like 10 lectures. They're about an hour or so each. And you kind of get a really nice overview of what is Web3 and like what it's all about. And then once you like take that, once you get that like general knowledge, then you can start looking specifically into what you want to learn in Web3. Because like I know you mentioned in the comment that you have no idea about smart contracts and why you should learn Web3. But I think once you learn like the different areas you can go into, you'll be more likely to find something and stick with it. But yeah, that's as far as like what I think should be a good first resource. I guess like once you get into smart contract development, it just depends on which blockchain you want to build on. Obviously, there's like Solidity if you want to do like stuff with EVM or Ethereum. Another really cool one is Flow, and you would have to learn Cadence. Rust is great for Solana. Reach if you want to get into Algorand. So yeah, that's where I would start though. Just breadth first knowledge, and then start diving deeper into some of these topics.
Yeah. For example, I can give my experience as a beginner, because I'm also a beginner, even if people tag me on Twitter as an expert. I started to choose the path of Solidity. I want to make this publicly because I discovered if I try to learn two languages at the same time, everything, I always get a bit lost. So I prefer to understand the concepts, starting maybe you see, okay, there are some blockchains which maybe are more expensive or less expensive. Something is free, something is not, but I'm more interested into the concepts. That's, for example, why I minted my very first NFT on a live stream. I also spent some money because I want my very first NFT to be on the Ethereum network, for example. I know people say, no, don't you do that, but I want to understand the concepts first, and then I apply this to other networks. So, for example, this is and I took some time, and I didn't just roll a dice. Even if I have a dice here, I always have a dice here, but I didn't roll that dice, but I asked to some people, to my friends, so I can also answer why I've chosen Solidity over other possibilities. You can also start without stepping into Solidity. I think I made a post some days ago. Okay. What are some file systems like for storage purpose on Web3? I don't know about this. You, Vito?
Me neither. I'm not sure I got the question,
Okay.
to be honest.
Samina, only you can save us.
Okay, I can try this. So like for starters, most of your data is going to be stored on the blockchain. Sometimes you'll have data off chain, and then they'll reintegrate with like things like oracles. But if you're talking about like database, there's actually a few database systems that you can use. I'm not sure if it's off chain or on chain, but there's something called GunDB, and I would look into that if you're curious about curious about that. But yeah, most of your data or your
Nice.
backend is going to be the blockchain itself.
Nice. Samina saved the day today. Nice. Me and my cousin are doing it together. He's very good at front end, and it's good to have a cousin good at front end. By the way, I would love to have a cousin who is good at front end. And I'm learning the smart contracts in depth, and we are working on projects together.
So you have a
Abbas.
unicorn.
Abbas, you are. Yeah, please remember about us. You'll be famous. Really good. Keep going. Nice. I think this is
I
for
love support.
Samina again, because I asked us, I think some weeks ago, like, which is your favorite branch in Web3? Because there are so many that maybe I don't know even if I can list them all, but Samina answered DeFi. So where can I learn about DeFi? Share more resources. Thanks. So Samina, what is DeFi and what do you know about that? And why is that your favorite topic about Web3?
Oh goodness, that's loaded. That's such a loaded. You added like 3 more questions to that question. Okay, so
Nice.
DeFi or decentralized finance is just basically what I like to think of as a movement for accessible and global currency. And basically, what it like buying cryptocurrency, like you don't have to. It's very much in contrast to the systems we have today, right? Like you don't have to go in, put your name, put your phone number, put your address. Like establish your credibility, have collateral, like put your house up. It's very accessible. So all you need to do is like start with a wallet, and then you can kind of get into the ecosystem. You can start staking and lending and loaning, all of these different things. So that's one of the most important aspects of DeFi, and why I think that it's really important and going to be part of the future. Where you can learn more about DeFi, I highly recommend this podcast called Bankless. And start with the very first episode, and they build up on top of each other. But they go over a lot of different aspects of DeFi, like why it's important. They'll talk to other DeFi experts in the field. So I think that's a really, really good one to get started with. And then I don't remember the other 2 questions that you added. Oh, maybe why I think it's important. So like,
Well, what's the name of the podcast?
Bankless. They also have a DAO. And yeah. And so I definitely recommend that resource. If you like podcasts, if you don't like podcasts, I don't know if I have a good resource. Maybe I'll look for some. But why I got into DeFi, or why I really enjoy DeFi, is because like when I start research, for me, DeFi is a way to have global change. Like one of the things I think about is like 1.7 billion people globally are not banked. Because they either don't have access to it, or like maybe it's barred, or but we see financial systems happen in a lot of countries. And so like things like PayPal, things like banking, and like, you know, the Wells Fargo or the Bank of America that you go to here, I think in some places we take that for granted. And so for anyone who doesn't know me, my background, I'm from Afghanistan, and I like to kind of keep up with the news there. And I mentioned this before, but there was a story about the Afghan robotics women team, and the leader of the Afghan robotics women team was paying her staff in Bitcoin years ago. Because like I said, they don't have these online systems like PayPal that are easily accessible to us. So she started paying her staff in Bitcoin, and she taught them how to like stake that and like use it to get loans and all these different things. And when this horrible situation happened last year, some of these girls were able to use that situation to escape. So I just think about that and the power it has in that situation. I think about like countries where inflation is a huge problem, and you know, the government's not doing anything about it at that point, and it affects a lot of people. It really does. Like it's gonna affect your economy dramatically. So I don't know to what extent DeFi fixes that, but you know, it's an option. And I think that if we kind of do more education on it, and finance in general, right? If we do more education about finance, I think we'll see more economies prosper. Sorry, that was a long rant. I'm sorry. That's not like the most
Nice.
topic.
I don't want to stop you. I mean, let's continue on this.
It was so sentimental. I love that.
Amazing. Okay, there are many questions, so I'll try to go fast because I want to answer the more we can. We will be live, I think, for about 1 hour, but I think we have already enough questions for about 1 hour. So I think I got this question multiple times, so we're gonna pick this, but I think the answer will be the same. I'm currently making my project related to web. So can you guys please suggest a project related to Web3? Personally, I don't have a specific project for now that I want to promote or sponsor. So I'm still checking some of them. When I minted my very first NFT on the live stream, it has been bought immediately by a person who has a NFT project. So it's also kind of interesting. So we got a call, and I got into his project, which looks interesting, but for now, still working on this. So I can give some updates. So for me, this is the only one that I'm checking now. So I don't have a specific project. And of course, I think also it depends. Do you want to make money? Do you want to be involved into an open source project? So maybe this should be more specific. But I leave Vito if you want to add more, and of course, Samina.
I don't know. I'm not sure if the question was, can you please, suggest projects that are already up and running on the internet, or it's more about, can you suggest me a project I should develop to practice Web3? I don't know which one was the question, but by the way, projects at the moment are, an awful lot. I think every day 20 to 50 new projects are approaching me in my DMs saying, hey, are you interested in these? Please join the Telegram channel. And I'm sure like 70% of them are great, 30% of them are not, but probably just 1% of them will actually last in the future. But if you want to develop something because you want to practice, well, my suggestion will always be a voting system, NFT marketplace, bidding system, community access based on NFTs. Everything that actually, the thing is that I think NFTs and cryptos as a proof of ownership, right? And build something around it. If I own something, what are the powers that I unlock? And build something around it. I think the best inventions will come from it.
Amazing. Emotional. I almost cried.
Can you blur my finger, like live? If I raise my hand, can you blur it?
No.
Okay, I will do it later on.
But I can do the same when we'll go on a different channel.
Perfect.
Okay. So Vito is the bed of the three, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Samina, would you like to add something? Do you have a
project? To the projects? Yeah, I think like Vito, I kind of misunderstood the question. If you're asking like what projects you should create to get started or like kind of get your foot in the door, definitely like I would start with Build Space, honestly. Just as a resource too. I know Vito is a huge fan of Build Space, right? Maybe not. I think I've seen the
I am in the Build Space
you are
Discord, but the problem is that I feel a bit lost because it's a huge. There are a lot of people active there, but I'll do something. I need to jump into some of those town halls they do sometimes. The last one I was in America, so I have the excuse. But in the next one, I think that I'll participate. I hope so. I don't know. Okay, maybe I can answer to this. Sorry. I know HTML and CSS. Nice. And meanwhile, learning JavaScript with React. Amazing. On the other side, do you have any recommendation for learning Solidity? Which courses can we apply or websites? Okay, I can share what I've done. First of all, that's a language, so I suppose that when there is a language, there is the official documentation, and I was right. There is an official documentation page, and that's nice. I like that page. I like the examples. I think I did free code camp of some dApps. I can't remember the exact name. The guy with the blue eyes. I can't remember his name now. No, it's not Patrick. It's the other one. Makes a lot of decentralized apps videos on YouTube. I'll find that because I checked that. I'll check this now. Sorry. In the meanwhile, if you want to share something, and then I streamed with zero experience Crypto zombies, 6 hours and a half on Christmas Eve and 1 hour on Christmas. So I finished the first 6 modules. Then I had made another 2 modules. It becomes harder at some point, but I think it's a great way to start, especially if you want to create content out of that. There is also an explanation. It's I think it's one of a kind. There is one guy, Kenneth Kessel, which is doing something similar, like you interact with them. So it's like a Freecode Camp style, if you know what I mean, Ozgur. So I'll check the first video that I have used. If you want to add something, otherwise, thanks, help. Thanks, Samina, Vito with 3 T's, and Francesco. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. And then Gregory is the name.
Is Daps University.
Yeah.
The guy. Yeah.
Yeah, the French guy, isn't it?
I don't know if he's French. I should invite him.
I'm pretty sure.
Should I invite him?
I love his accent. I love it.
Okay, so we need to invite him.
100%.
Nice. Oh, do you like him? Do you know him? Let me share his channel. I think that he doesn't need a shout out, but we can try. We can share this.
The thing I don't really understand is why people that are creating videos about Web3 and Web3 development are not really following any sort of chronological or skill level order, right? It's all about, okay, I'm gonna teach you about this and then about that and then about that completely disconnected topic because I want to mess with your brain, right? And it doesn't really make sense. On the other hand, like I really appreciated Nader Dabit that is doing also Nader is super advanced, right? Because when he teaches you something, you need to go through all the documentation, otherwise you won't understand anything. But he at least covers all you need to know to do that, right? So I don't know what's your
shameless plug. Nader Dabit will be on this channel in 12 days, so shameless plug.
Oh yeah,
I can ask him also to come again for this, but because we don't know if we will survive. But in the meanwhile, let's see. Amazing. Okay, did it helps? Do you really?
I actually wanted to add to Vito's point of like all the tutorials and stuff you'll see don't really start you at 0, and I guess it's like a problem of like a lot of people who are creating these tutorials have been people who are in the space, like deep in the space. And so we went from like in Web3, there was like no content, like no tutorials, right? In Web3, and it's just like a few niche people doing it. And then now there's like too many and they're not really always curated or audited. So like, it's like finding that balance of like different pathways. But I think like we'll see more efforts like come from like educational platforms that are already like, I can imagine like Code Academy or something like that, just like bring out a curated like course that will take you from that 0 to hero pathway or whatever you want to call it. I just think that that's going to happen over time. But right now, yeah, it's just really community curated. Even Web3 University, which maybe you'll talk about in a little bit, Vito, it's like these developer advocates are creating it, content creators, and it's not a bad thing. I think it's a really good thing, but I think some people do need that structure. And another thing is like universities and boot camps are not offering that yet. There's very few.
To answer your question, Vito, why they are disconnected the content? I think that in reality, maybe they are super great at making videos, but they are really in a hurry. So they are trying to make any possible content to try to get the best of the views. So I can feel them, especially if they are, I don't know, like YouTubers as a full-time job. Because if you do this, let's say on a professional level, I don't know if they are also do other stuff, but if they do this on a professional level, they have to maximize everything because the earnings of YouTube are not that great. So they try to hit the best topic of the day, of the week, without maybe having a big plan of course. So this is the reason. I think this can be. So, but I understand that. I keep hitting my microphone. Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah, we have another question. We have so many questions. So we are going behind. We need to be faster on the answers. Do you really think Web3 is the future? As many are saying, Web3 will be built on the top of Web2. Does that make sense? It makes sense to me, but it's not something that happens like that. it's a long process. I think it's the same. I'm old enough that I've seen the birth of the of the internet from the basic HTML. So it's not something that just happens. Okay, so now we are in Web 2, 3, 2, 1, Web 2. It's not like that. That's the new year. It's a slow process. Some people, they hate the word transition. Honestly, I've noticed against that, but in some sense, this is what is happening. We are going into that. Maybe we should use another verb. I don't know, but that's the idea.
I don't know. I mean, there's no distinction. The thing is that there is a distinction, and is how people are interacting with the web and blah blah. But to be honest, I learned the distinction between Web 1 and Web 2 during a test at the university, and then never spoke about it anymore until I, started with Web 3. So the fact is that we are integrating native web payments into the web and giving communication protocol status. That's the thing. Okay, you can see it as a new library that's being released and you can use. Don't see it like as a huge thing. Okay, it's a huge thing because you can build an awful lot of stuff on top of it, but it's not that risky. I mean, probably the internet as a whole was way more risky than Web3 and the blockchain as a technology, right? And what makes it risky is that people are investing an awful lot of money onto super speculative projects, and then they say, oh my God, Web3, the blockchain is risky and it's a scam. And I'm like, yes, I mean, everything can become a scam in that case, right? If I'm gonna tell you this mouse has superpowers, and then you're gonna start investing $100,000 on this mouse, hoping the price will rise, it's super risky, right?
Yeah, but everything can be a scam. Even if you remember internet at the very first, in the beginning, it was super scammy. Maybe even more than now. Maybe people now, they know that they don't have to click links, but before people didn't even know that they should not click random links. So yes, absolutely. Tap University, do check out. It's Gregory. Okay, long hair, blue eyes. Yeah, it's him. Exactly. Makes sense. That'd be amazing. Gregory is Canadian. He's Canadian. He's not French. Okay. Yes, invite him just for the accent. So I'll invite him just for the accent. So that's okay. Looking forward. I came late again. Savio, why? Why are you late? Why are you late? Check this Italian gesture. Nice. Okay. So we are back. Okay, we are back on the questions. What are the NFT marketplace we should looking for minting? OpenSea is one, but it's expensive also. Any other recommendations? I've used just OpenSea, so I don't know the alternatives. I'm sorry. Does any of you know some alternatives?
Yeah, there is Played Up that is Polygon based, for example. And then we have Rarible. And then
I've heard some of them, but I've never used that. But so I have a question. So on those marketplaces, can you mint all the networks or just some of them?
No, also on OpenSea you can't really mint all the networks. On some of them, like on OpenSea you can't mint Solana. The thing is that if like OpenSea is built both on top of Polygon and Ethereum, but they have OpenSea Polygon and they have OpenSea Ethereum. And then and then like Rarible, I think it's only on Ethereum, and like the other one I told you that is what's the name? Played Up is built on top of Polygon, and then we have Solana marketplaces like, I can't remember the name, I'm retrieving it, SolSea. Yeah, no kidding, it's called SolSea. And it's like OpenSea, but for Solana.
Yes. Can I add something on this question? Expensive for what? For minting, for selling, for buying? What do you think is his? Yash, what are you asking for? What do you think it's expensive related to what? What activities? Because there are many activities that you can do in an NFT marketplace. Okay, so I'm kind of new, but just to understand.
Everything related to Ethereum is expensive, period. And it's not because like Ethereum is super expensive. It's because if you start trading Ethereum, if you start using Ethereum as a coin, as a way of exchanging value, you should stop doing the conversion, because it can't work, right? If you start doing the conversion like it's free Ethereum, so well, it's $12,000. No, it won't work, right? You have to think about it's 3 Ethereum. It's 2 Ethereum, it's 0.5 Ethereum. So in that case, it's not expensive anymore. But on the other hand, if you're just joining, well, like OpenSea is super expensive because cool projects are super, like an ape costs you $5 million, $7 million. So yeah, it's expensive.
I remember in 2001 when we went from the lira to the euro in Italy, and we thought that a euro, it was expensive because we had to change this from the lira, which is which was our currency, to the euro one. At some point, we stopped making the conversion, of course.
True.
So it's something similar. Yes, would you like to add something, Samina, to this? And then there is a question for you, Samina. Yeah.
I think it's just Ethereum is just expensive. Like Vito said, there's nothing more to that. I think over time it might lower in price. I guess we'll see. A lot of people are speculating that ETH 2.0 is going to help out, but I'm not like, I think L2s are going to be, this is my own personal opinion. I think L2s are going to be the ultimate savior of like making Web3 accessible as far as like monetary aspects. And don't take that question. I see it. Don't take
the question from Kevin. I skipped that.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's because we always argue about Solana versus Ethereum, and I'm an ETH person, so I'm always like Solana is meh. But
Samina, sorry, but we are here because the fights we will get more people, so it's nice. You have to learn something about the podcast, but maybe just because it's you, I'll take that down if you want. Sorry, Kevin.
No, I'm just kidding.
Now we lose Kevin, of course.
No, I think Solana is great. I think Solana is definitely on the rise, and especially what happened lately with like Brave integrating Solana, I think it's going to be a lot better. One of the problems is like there's various degrees of decentralization, and so there's like when you talk to people in the space, or like if you go on Reddit or something, Reddit is probably not a credible source, but still, there's varying degrees of centralization and decentralization, and I think the most decentralized cryptocurrencies or blockchains are Ethereum and Bitcoin. And I'm going to get flamed for this, but I think over time we'll see, like, because right now some of them are still centralized. Like we saw, like, you know, they're storing some things on like some AWS or Google or services and things like that. And they're not the only ones, right? But I think like over time, because it's hard to build that infrastructure. It's hard to build that, build it out. But I think Solana has a lot of merits. It's really good. And shout out to Chase Barker, who is the dev advocate at Solana. Any questions about Solana, I would go to him for sure.
Nice. Now we need to start looking for some guests. So
another guest, yeah.
We are making the list. No worries. Amazing. We're already close to 1 hour, so let's take another two more questions, and then we will close this. Okay. Oh, sorry. I keep hitting things today. Okay.
Please.
Sorry. Can you recommend a resource for finding internships related to Web3? I tried Web3.career. It's pretty good. Any others come to mind? Honestly, I don't know any resources. Build Space
works. Yeah, Remo.com works as well. Pretty well. But yeah, I think any job listing website will do the job. Maybe the wording might be different. Maybe sometimes you'll find jobs as a blockchain developer, sometimes a Web3 developer, sometimes as a Ethereum developer, sometimes as a smart contract developer. But essentially, the job is the same, developing smart contracts.
junior smart contract developers with 10 years of experience. We will see
Oh, yeah.
soon this on LinkedIn.
Only serious
sure.
increase. That's a post from Samina, if I remember correctly, isn't it? You made a post with a fake job proposal.
You're muted, Samina.
Yeah, willing to relocate to Ababwa.
Ababwa.
Yeah.
I seriously got about, I want to say at least 30 GitHub profiles in my DMs and like 50 resumes from that tweet. It got to like 5,000. And like I could fill an IT company. I should have just started a company at that point. I had no plans to do that. But now looking back, I'm like, I had enough resumes. I could have just hired everyone and just started a company.
Nice. Amazing. We have this funny one. Is Solana versus Ethereum the next Python versus JavaScript? Of course, on Twitter we are talking. So
It's already like that. It's so if you like go into Web3 like threads and like Reddit posts and stuff, like there's people arguing all the time about different blockchains. It's funny to watch. I would definitely look out for those posts. It's amazing.
Nice.
But if it happens on tech Twitter, it's gonna be a disaster. So
nice. I think we live in a real. It will be a great time to be alive. The next upcoming one, for sure, that will be funny. About third web, I would like to be more involved into that. It seems, as you said, Vito, I don't know how much you tried that. They made a launch 1 month ago, something like that. I've never tried. I don't know if I can make a live stream out of that. I don't know. Maybe I could. But what's your experience? If you have some, or maybe what you heard, it seems like a promising project. Also, Gravy is involved into that, right?
Yeah,
So,
spoiler. I'm starting creating guides for them. The project is super cool. It's not I'm not a no code guy. Okay, I like to get my hands dirty every single time.
You are a no code
A no code guy.
Okay,
Yeah, I love it because I feel confused, right? Every time I can just hit a button and do something very, very complex, my brain just doesn't accept it, as a logical consequence of an action. And so I prefer writing code. But if you have a really small team, or if you are an artist, for example, okay, it's just like speaking about using Wix, using WordPress, or coding your website with JavaScript, right? If you're not a developer, if you're just a photographer and you need a portfolio and you want to appear on Google because you want people to call you, or you are an artist and you want to create NFTs and projects and create your own collection or community, it works perfectly. You don't have to write a single line of code, if not JavaScript, but it's super, super easy to use. Right. Of course, it comes with limitations, and those limitations coming from a closed system, and the fact that you don't really know what's going on under the hood, the fact that you don't really have control over the nitty-gritty stuff of your smart contracts. So I like it at 97%. The other 3% is the programmer in me shouting, "Hey, no, use Solidity! What the hell are you doing?" Yeah.
I love that, and I love that you left exactly 3%, and this is Web3, so this is not a coincidence, Vito. I know that coincidence. I think not. Yeah, Samina, have you tried the third web? What's are your
I
points?
haven't, but a few of my friends are the dev advocates, Nacho, Raza, and Potham, which are amazing people.
The third
three
triumvirate.
musketeers.
The triumvirate, 3 of Web3. Everything is 3.
They're awesome. Yeah, I would definitely. I think it's really exciting, like what they're doing. And like, I think they just got backed by like Gary Vee and Mark Cuban. Like that's huge. Seeing all these like big VCs investing into that in their company. I think they have like really great leadership, and I applaud them for what they've shifted really fast. I gotta really applaud them for that. They have like skyrocketed. Yeah, I think I heard about them a few months ago, and then seeing like from where they were there and how they rebranded and shipped their product, and now like I don't know how many users they have on their platform, but that's amazing. I definitely see them going places.
Yeah, I think that I am exactly I feel exactly like Vito in this case. So I want to check it out because I think it's worth, especially because this can be a huge project. But I really want to make my hands dirty. So I'm not like a photographer or an artist at all. So I like to understand how things work. But then, of course, I have no problem, for example, for some project, even to use that if this makes sense. But now I am in a phase when I really want to study and learn. For example, for me now this is what I'm on. So I'm with you, Vito. Maybe it's 96%. I don't have that exactly 3, but amazing.
I'm gonna shamelessly plug Decentology because that's what we're kind of working on, is like being able to take the code, like the different smart modules, and then build it into your application. So if you're more developer oriented, I like to think of it as like the NPM of Web3. So if you're more developer oriented, what the platform we're trying to build is just like picking and pulling these different smart modules so you can just add it into your app. You don't have to like think about auditing and like, I don't know, like smart contracts have a lot of issues in terms of like you upload it once, you can't really change it. You got to make sure you did it right the first time. So smart contract development, I think in the future, it's just, that's what it's going to look like. Like, you know how like in development now, we have a lot more front end people than back end. And like most of the time when we're integrating back end, it's like the same repetitive APIs or some like system that's already built, but then the front end is dramatically different from company to company. I think that's what's going to happen with decentralized applications. It's like the front end is going to look dramatically different, but like everybody's going to pick and pull smart modules that already exist and are audited and like are already established, kind of.
Nice. I like this approach, Samina. It's not because you are here, of course, but for example, I'm interested into this approach. Honestly, this is not promoted stuff, but I would like to know more. The only problem is always time. I don't know you, but it's always time. I would like to make a lot of things. Now we'll see people, they won't. No,
Sorry,
this one.
I was reading the results of the poll, and the total
This-
is 98.
Yeah.
This is 61 plus
I
30 plus 7. This is 98.
don't know.
The
This is a
2%.
glitch. This is a glitch in the poll, and of course, this poll is biased because we're asking this to the people which are already inside the live stream, so it doesn't make sense. But it's good for our moral boost. So okay, now it's amazing. Of course, we are in the live stream. Okay, now, no. So don't do that if you want to real numbers. Recommendation for Web3 podcast. My series is almost turned down into a Web3 podcast because I think in the last guests, most of them they were related to Web3. Samina, Victor, some of them, Casey, a lot of other people. I have another next week in a couple of the weeks. So mine is not just Web3 related because I'm more focused on developers, people I like. And people who made a huge impact in the developer community. I don't know if you know any Web3 focused podcast. We can plug them if you really. Honestly, I don't have time to
Samina
listen to other
she
podcasts.
does.
Samina.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to plug in. So if you go to useweb3.xyz, you can also check out the podcasts there. There's a big depth of them. But the ones I recommend, like I said earlier, for decentralized finance, I recommend Bankless. If you're looking for more like human-centric or like podcasts where they kind of like talk to people in the Web3 space and kind of highlight these more community sides, I would definitely check On the Other Side. It's by Chase Chapman. And then also Crypto Native by Alicia, and she does hers on YouTube. I think those are really, really good. I would definitely check those out.
Nice. I'm checking the Decentrology website now, so I also leave this tag open because otherwise I'll never check that. I mean, every time I go on your profile, I say, oh, maybe I'll do that one day. So I leave this tab open, so I want to check it out. The link is also in the description of this video. I want more people to argue on topics like Python versus JavaScript, Solana versus... So you want to see people fight, and this is... So this confirms my theory that people, they like to see fights. Sometimes I enjoy this. Yeah. I enjoy this kind of free entertainment. Nice. We know that there are people like that, but we understand you. I think it's like watching people fighting for who is the best team. you're just sitting there. So nice to see them arguing with each other. Yeah, I have a very last question. We have 10 seconds, so maybe we'll get a little bit more about this. Vito, about your content creation, when are you about to start your YouTube journey, or have you started? I think yes.
No, I haven't yet because I had COVID and it took me so much to completely recover, and I couldn't show my face on webcam. But other than that, yeah, the idea is to start as soon as possible. At the moment, I'm working on Blogero, that is a platform for cross-posting posts.
Seen that.
Yeah, and it's super easy to be honest with you. But it's something that I needed so much because every time I need to copy post among across Medium and then Ashnote and then Dev.to and then my WordPress blog, and nothing really looks the same because they don't use the same blocking system and so on and so forth. So yeah, but next week I will reveal this gigantic news and then start creating a bunch of new content.
Nice, and we trust you, so I sent the link of your YouTube channel here. This is a bit strange, but this is the link. I don't know if you have your name, the YouTube channel, but this is the link, by the way. I don't know, this is what I have now. Web3, Solidity, and Ethereum are the new video of your Monday, so nice. Perfect. So I think we are done. 1 hour. This was the pilot version, and I think I personally enjoyed it a lot because a very natural conversation of 3 people. So I like that. Which are your final points? And then we'll close for today. Thank you also for staying in the chat, of course. Who would like to go first or go last?
Me? Oh, it's been a pleasure talking with you. Seriously, I hope this will become a weekly appointment where we can speak about Web3 news and projects from the community. To get better is something I want to learn. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not someone that makes videos daily nor weekly. So it's something I want to really know. And if you have any feedback or ideas or, comments or critiques, drop us a message, comments, you know where to find us.
Nice, amazing. Please be sure to follow both of them, Vito and Samina. You will never regret that if you are into this.
Maybe you will. Maybe you will. I can't really 100% guarantee that. But,
Vito, I'm trying to work for you. Don't work against you. Hey, Kevin, Samina.
Yeah,
I would like to say that this idea started also with Samina, and so yeah, I really was looking forward for this, Samina.
Yep. So I this was really awesome, and I'm really excited that you all agreed to do this with me. I don't think I could find better co-host anywhere else, so I expect to see some tears right now. No,
okay, this day, and now I know that this day was worth to be alive today. Thank you, Samina.
Yeah. So yeah, this is really awesome. And yeah, like I said, hopefully this will be a weekly session. And if you all are like working any projects, if you're watching this episode, and if you're working on any interesting projects or like something in the Web3 space, and maybe you're working on like some content or something, send me a message or send Francesco or Vito a message. And then hopefully if it's a match, we'll get you on the show and hopefully highlight your project. I think this will be really community sourced and oriented. So yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Just let me add a very small thing. Don't just say, I want to be on your show, because I got this like 20 times per day, messages like this. So if you have a real idea, make maybe a long message when you share your projects, some real links, a bit of your background. So if you want a real answer, send a real message, not like, or some. Today also I got a message with a different name, like Hi Geller, and then a very super promotional message. So if you want a real answer, send a real message with your thoughts, not just because you want to be shown somewhere. Just adding this, of course. I'll try to check all my DMs, but it will be hard. 2022 is all about Web3 for me. There are also 3 too, so maybe this is a sign. I don't know.
Jeez.
All right, I had to do this. I had to say this. Sorry. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. I think we made it. Thank you. Kudos to my co-hosts. So I'm not the only host. for once. So I'm happy. Samina and Vito are really my friends. I would love to make a lot of collaborations with both of them this year. We are done. Perfect. We need the theme at the beginning and at the end, by the way. We need to work on this. Okay?
We should end with Wog Me Friends.
Yeah, we should.
Wag me.
Yeah, let me.
This is inspired by Kevin. Wog Me Friends.
Yeah.
Wag Me Friends. No,
Wag Me Friends.
we already need a rebrand. We are just getting started. Okay.
The Wag Me Friends.
Well, we have to start with GM.
I
Start the
love
episode with GM and then end with Wog Me
Yeah.
Friends.
GM. And I want my
GM.
cat ears on the headphones.
Oh God.
Amazing.
Yeah.
People, you really made my day.
Bye.
Both of you.
Oh,
Thank you.
No, wait. Let's
Great.
take. Are we live? Okay,
Yeah.
let's
Live.
finish the live, and I have a couple of words. Secret.
Okay, so now people, they are totally hooked. If you want to know more, there will be a pro link soon, and we have to pay a lot of money. What is
One
Wag Me?
Ethereum.
I'm not gonna say this. What is Wag Me? We will end this live stream like this. It's
No one
Google.
knows.
You are already on the internet.
Oh, we're having
Bye-bye.
secret conversation. Okay, bye.
Bye.